Good afternoon from London. This is Dr. Dermot Hudson. I'm chairman of the Korean Friendship Association of the UK and also chairman of the British group for the study of the future there. I'm also an anti-imperialist solidarity activist and a member of the New Communist Party. I'm here today for Points News to record this interview. Points News is an excellent independent news channel, and today they've asked me to speak about Venezuela, which I'm very happy to do so. I actually visited Venezuela in October 2005, yes, 20 years ago, when I attended a conference on anti-imperialism and independence in Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela. And of course, the news that everybody's talking about is the unparalleled and diabolical aggression of the United States, the US imperialists, against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, a small country in Latin America, which has done absolutely nothing wrong, but has become the target of US aggression. It was on the morning of the 3rd of January that US Special Forces conducted an assault within Venezuela and kidnapped the legitimate and elected president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro. This attack was accompanied by bombing, and I believe up to 80 people, possibly more than 80 people, were killed by the US forces. I say it's a very naked and blatant act of aggression by the US, something unknown, I think, in the 21st century. And of course, the US itself has carried out dozens and dozens of military interventions throughout the world since 1945. It also sits on a global empire of over 700,000 US troops abroad and many hundreds of US bases. In my opinion, the reason for the aggression against Venezuela is several-fold. I think the most obvious reason is to seize the oil resources of Venezuela. In fact, the US is making no secret of this fact that they want to seize the oil resources of Venezuela, just like they did in Iraq over 20 years ago. It's a war for oil. It is also an effort at regime change. It's about toppling the socialist and anti-imperialist government in Venezuela. It's about stamping out socialism in Western Hemisphere and other parts of the world. These rumours that Cuba is next, and who knows where else the US may turn its attention to. So basically, the United States is trying to determine what political, economic and social system other countries have. And I think the third possible reason for the US aggression in Venezuela is to distract from the Epstein files in the US, which implicate many figures from the US ruling class from both the Republican and Democrat parties. And of course, President Trump himself appears in them. So this aggression is to distract from the Epstein files, which is a massive scandal, which shows the extreme and deep depths of depravity, decadence, and corruption within the US empire, within the US elite. And I think it is a scandal which actually can bring down the system. So the US have tried to start a war to distract from the contents of the Epstein files. And meanwhile, they have kidnapped President Maduro and are holding him against his will in New York. He has done nothing wrong. He's not a US citizen. He doesn't need to answer to US laws. And so it is a brazen act of state terrorism by the US that they are holding him prisoner. So I would conclude this short video for Points News by expressing my full solidarity with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and for calling for the release of President Nicolás Maduro. Long live President Maduro, long live independent Venezuela.